Hey, Googans, bright and early, or at least bright, on a wonderful Tuesday. Welcome in. It's After Drill. I'm Beef, you know that. That's Drew Hicken, you know that too. After Drill, each and every day, brought to us by
UPS store in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, located at 830 A1A North in Tournament Plaza, locally owned and operated by our friends, the Duncans. They've been serving the community for the last 25 years. All your printing needs, whether it be brochures, planners, business cards, yard signs, you name it, they got you over there at the UPS store in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. You can reach them at 904-285-2345. That's 904-285-2345.
Wild one on the drill today, Drew. Lots to get into. Of course, big win for the Florida Gator baseball team yesterday in Omaha. They stay alive with a 6-1 win over Texas. Jackson Coar was a little shaky in the first, then lights out with 13 strikeouts for the first-round pick of the Kansas City Royals. So that's good news if you're a KC fan to see that kind of performance out of Coar. And the Gators, they get a day off. And they'll be back at it tomorrow in an elimination game against either Arkansas or Texas Tech, depending on who loses that game. And then, should they win the Thursday game, they've got to turn around and play the winner of today's game, and they got to beat those jokers twice. It's a big road to hoe still for the Florida Gators. You know, still that fork is about halfway in the back right now. But they're fighting to stay alive in Omaha to try and repeat as national champions. But it's going to be a tall order for the Orange and Blue Drew.
Yeah.
Speaking of orange, what in God's name is going on with that shirt of yours?
I don't know if I was going for a traffic cone or what's
You look like
on.
a reflector.
I'm telling you that I literally have, you can see stuff coming off the shirt.
What up, Matthew?
What's up, man?
Jeff likes to talk about the Volvic balls, right? The golf balls that Bubba Watson plays with.
Yes.
And he always talks about how they mess with his rods and cones in his eyes. Like he says if he stood over a Volvic ball, like literally the ball looks like it pulsates.
Like if you don't see this glow on the left side
right.
of these
And I
face.
wonder, what is going on with, how bad was Drew's shirt messing with Jeff? Is that why Jeff left so fast? Usually he doesn't leave so rapidly right after the show, but today he got right out of here. I feel like Drew's shirt was messed with him. And you're right, traffic cones are a much more mellow shade of orange.
Yeah.
What Drew's got going on here, I don't know how to describe it. I think coral.
We said coral.
Coral.
We went with coral.
It's kind of the best.
Look, y'all's guess
but
is...
man, it's bright.
I mean, we're pretty close, honestly, to this sticky
Oh,
note.
don't hold that up, Drew. That's the code to the door. We can't hold that up.
Oh, well, we're pretty
security breach.
The back
here,
side
Drew.
of the sticky note.
Yeah, let's hold this up backwards.
It's close.
That's close. We always had a security breach. We'd have to reset the code, and then it would take a week for your dad to ever get in the building.
No.
He's just learning the new code.
Oh,
Drew.
dear.
Don't do it. Jeff, inside the business here, Googans, we had to change the keypad code to get in the door, and it's always a big rigmarole when we change it because I don't know if you know this about sports radio guys like me and Drew, but we're dumb. So when you do things like change the door code, it's a huge issue because these idiots around here, myself included,
at some point next year we'll get it.
Can't wrap their heads around the new 4-number code. And once you throw on the additional symbol on the end of it, all bets are off. It's a nightmare. I mean, I've got, for the first week, every morning I've got text messages from Dan Hicken, help, what's the code? I'm late. It's a mess. And but now Jeff's come around on it. At first he was very anti-code change, and now he loves it because he feels like it's, I don't know if this is, I feel like this is him embracing his aging. He's not old. I'm not saying he's old. Jeff's 51. He's not old, but he's aging. And I feel like they always say you keep the brain stimulated as you age, and you don't run into issues.
So
and now Jeff,
the code change is keeping him going.
Jeff
it's keeping
feels
him
like
sharp.
the code change is like a door, like a brain teaser. It's like almost like sitting down with like a Sudoku book, but it's at the keypad every day when he tries to get in the gate to the parking lot.
He comes in sharper than ever.
Right, sharp as a whistle. That's why he backed Jordan Spieth in the U.S. Open, because he is razor sharp.
That's right.
Right now, just his wits are always about him. But so the new door code has been a real
Now we get some guesses. We're getting some guesses on the new tour code.
By the way, 10-10 is not the code, but that's the code Dan would have chosen. Yeah, he would have chosen that. Or
panicking is it?
Or 0-0-0-0 pound.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 pound. Something like that. It's not that. It's very strange. It's just a random ass number they picked, and that's throwing everybody off even worse because there's no numeric association for most people. Usually, if you've got a number, it's like you can think of like players you like or something. You can sort of assign it to and create some kind of numerical relation that helps you remember it. Or you could be like literally everybody else with half a brain in the world, and you have some kind of note-taking app in your phone, and you just punch it in your phone.
Yep.
And you look at it while you're walking up and go, yeah, that's what I remember. That's the code. Until you learn it. It's not that complicated. But again, like I said, we're sports radio guys. We're very slow to embrace technology. We're very late to get hip with the times. And just bottom line, we're dumb people. We're not bright.
Mm-hmm. And that's fair.
The NBA draft is tomorrow night, Drew. There's a lot of moving parts. People feel like this could be a draft night with a lot of trades. Kawhi's on the market. There's other guys that could be moving parts, could be shifting around. I don't know if we'll see major trade action.
Interesting that Pop went and visited with him. Makes you think maybe something's on the horizon, perhaps?
I don't know if Pop's, I don't know if they're mending fences or if he's trying to get a barometer of just how aggressive Kawhi is about this request to get out of San Antonio, and if he's going to make it difficult if they try to trade him somewhere that is not Los Angeles, because the word is he's making it very clear to everyone that, you can trade for me if you want. I'm under contract for 2 more years, but when that contract is up, I'm going to L.A. That's it. That's the bottom line. So, he's sort of submarining the Spurs a little bit here because now trade value goes down. What can you get for Kawhi Leonard when somebody who wants to trade for him all of a sudden knows that he's making that promise that, look, you're going to get me for 2 years and I'm going to give it my best, but I'm getting the hell out of Dodge in 2 years and I'm going to L.A. So what are you really going to give up for 2 years of Kawhi Leonard? Granted, it's 2 peak years of a superstar player, so you're still going to give up value, but you're probably not going to sell the farm if you know that guy is not going to sign a 5-year extension with you and stick around for the long haul.
And really, when it comes down to it, L.A.'s got the money. They've got the space for him.
Oh,
too,
sure.
Is the other thing. Like I was watching a show yesterday, and they were talking about, because we talked about obviously Boston maybe being, what would Boston be interested? They obviously asked about him earlier in the season, and then you look at the money, and it just doesn't make sense with all the pieces that they have there. I don't think can work.
Right, and Matthew just said Pop is probably asking Kawhi to shut up because he's killing the Spurs' leverage.
Yeah,
hey, he's right about him killing the Spurs' leverage. I don't know how much Pop can ask him to shut up, but I think I think it's the Spurs need as much leverage as they can get. It's how much waves is Kawhi going to make if they try to trade him somewhere else, or do they need to try and bring a third party in to swing this thing and get him to LA and still get the Spurs what they want? And maybe that's what this meeting's about. It's saying, look, we want to get you to LA because we know that's what you want, but we need to get some value back for you. So, work with us here. Please stop submarining everything, and we'll try and bring a third team in here so we can get some players and some picks. LA can get you, which is what you want, and everybody comes out a little bit ahead.
He's a Cali guy, isn't he? He's
a SoCal guy. He went to Fresno, so he wants to go to the Lakers or the Clippers. He wants
San
to go
Diego,
home.
Didn't he?
And was it San Diego?
San Diego State, I think.
Yeah.
The Aztecs.
Oh, that's right. He was an Aztec. So he wants to go home. He wants to go to SoCal. He wants to go home. I understand it. It's a big market. You can make more money there. And if if it's LeBron or somebody else going to LA, then maybe that's the case.
Right.
Has there ever been a player that has had public beef with the Spurs? Yes. In fact, there was a very public beef, not only with the Spurs, but with Greg Popovich.
Wasn't this recent?
No, it wasn't even recent. His name was Dennis Rodman. And when he played for the Spurs, after he was traded to the Chicago Bulls for Will Perdue, he came out with a very public statement. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly the quote, but he basically said that it's a dictatorship in San Antonio and that Greg Popovich thinks he's God.
Well, Aldridge wanted out too.
And Aldridge wanted out. Rudy Gay just opted out. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows in San Antonio. It's very much like the New England Patriots. They have a guy who has a system, and that system works, and that system wins. So you either come into San Antonio, you toe the line, you run with the system, you're going to get rings, and stuff's going to go down. But if you're not with it, then there's the door.
Also,
See you later.
how many years does Pop even have left, realistically?
No, Pop, I think basically he didn't. I don't know if he really locked it down, but he basically said he's probably going to retire after 2020's Olympics. So the 1920 season with the Spurs and the Olympics, and then he's probably done. He's been with the Spurs now forever.
Yeah.
I mean, he predates Tim Duncan in San Antonio. He's been in San Antonio forever, and he's going to finish his career there. Nobody's going to get rid of him.
Right.
But there's a problem, and Kawhi has made it a problem, and I think they're trying to find a smooth way to make it less of a problem for the Spurs to get value and still get Kawhi what he wants. I think they're trying to find that happy medium where they can get Kawhi to L.A., whether it's the Lakers or the Clippers, because Kawhi seems like he doesn't care as long as he's in L.A. But they want to get him to L.A., and they want to get value back. And right now, Kawhi is submarining their leverage, like Matthew said, and it's making it so they can't get value.
Is Kawhi on the Spurs post-draft?
Yes. I think Kawhi is still Spurs property, so to speak. His rights belong to the Spurs, and I think he is still technically a Spur after Thursday night drafts. I think Kawhi's future will hinge on what LeBron does, because I think if LeBron makes it clear he's going to LA, then that's when when the Lakers step in and go, all right, let's get it done. Let's get Kawhi. Let's find a third team. Let's make it happen. Because the Spurs aren't just going to wrap Kawhi in a tight little package and hand him off to the Lakers. They're not going to do it. They're not going to help them. They're like rivals. They don't like them. They're not going to hand off a megastar to them for free or for 10 cents on the dollar. They want value, especially knowing they've got him under contract for 2 years. There's no, other than the fractured relationship, there's no reason for the Spurs to trade Dwight or trade Kawhi immediately. There's no advantage to them to move him immediately. They could sit on him if they want, but I think they'd rather get this whole thing done and make it happen. About to mute you, Agolini.
Getting a couple
CCG.
Shirt digs.
Yeah, CCG. I'm going to have to mute you. 1,000 points of light on the shirt.
Said good to see me wearing a second shirt as well.
Andrew asks if the Lakers trade Ball if they land LeBron. That appears to be the indication. And
I can't see LeBron wanting to deal with all that. But
when I read that article, I read it two ways. There was I don't know if it was an article or a tweet basically saying that if LeBron goes to LA that Lonzo's out. And you can read that two ways. One is LeBron doesn't want to deal with the Ball circus, the Triple Bs and LeVar and the whole Ball thing. And yeah, I think that's a factor to some degree. But LeBron's a big ass boy. He doesn't give a damn about LeVar Ball and what LeVar Ball does.
I think it's just obviously that Lonzo Ball has one of the best.
He's the chip.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the best chip they have for trades. Him and Randall are the best tradable assets they have. So if they're going to try and put together a super team with big players, Lonzo Ball is the most obvious trade asset they have. So LeBron going to LA meaning Lonzo's out, I think more means that they still need to get more pieces and they're going to have to make deals. And Lonzo's the most tradable asset.
I think it's easy to see that Lonzo and probably Kuzma are going to be two of the.
Sure. I think they'd like to hang on to Randall if possible, but Randall may ultimately, if you're trying to get the Kawhi deal done, you may have to give up Randall to make it happen. Yeah. Unless you bring in a third team that's offering up players in exchange for cash, who's just trying to shed contracts. But it's going to be complicated. But I think in the end, my gut tells me in the end it's going to be LeBron and Kawhi on the Lakers. I think that's going to be the case. No, this is not Brooks Koepka. My kid has actually never met Drew Hicken, but I would feel like Drew would probably be nice to my kid. So I would also like Drew like I like Brooks Koepka, which if you haven't heard, that's the story why I picked Brooks Koepka is that at the Players 2 years ago, I took the Petit Filet. He's a wonderful boy.
Petit Filet.
And we were on the, if you're familiar with TPC Sawgrass, I know you are, that kind of patch of grass from 16 green across to 17 feet. And there's that patch of grass, and they set up the seats there, and late in the day you get great shade. You get shade all the way across that. And so we got there late enough in the afternoon that we were able to get right up on the rope on that path between 16 and 17. And we were actually there when Molinari had his double eagle on 16. And so we're on the ropes, and as the players are coming by, I'm hoisting up the Petite, who at the time, was just about 2, or just about 3, I should say. And I'm shoving them like over the ropes, like trying to get high fives and whatnot. And most of the players ignored him. Dirt McGirt is dead to me, as he literally like stone cold, like looked straight at my kid and then walked
Made eye
past him.
contact.
It's like, bleep you, buddy. But Koepka came by, gave a little dab. He said, "What's up, little man?" It was the only guy who talked to the kid. The kid still loves Koepka, so I've embraced Koepka. Koepka, you're good with me, until you do something stupid. I know Agolini hates Koepka because he's a Knoll, but Drew here, being a Knoll, loves Koepka.
Love Koepka. Big Koepka guy.
Big Koepka
OJ
guy.
says Lonzo can't shoot, so James can't use him. I mean, the entire Cavs team
And
can't shoot.
that's fair, man. That's
It's
fair.
a good
Right.
point.
There's not a lot of shooters on the Cavs either, outside of hot sauce. But yeah, I think Lonzo's out for a multitude of reasons. Don't think that LeVar and the whole ball nonsense is not a factor.
Right.
But I just don't think it's the determining factor in him being.
Like LeBron wouldn't, if they were like, look, LeBron, we have to hang on to Lonzo. LeBron would not go because of that.
LeBron would figure out how to play with Lonzo, or Lonzo would sit on the bench and watch LeBron and learn. I'm not saying LeBron couldn't necessarily serve as a mentor to Lonzo, too.
I mean, that's why even after the whole Kyrie thing, LeBron was like, don't trade him, we'll figure it out.
Right.
LeBron, I mean, he doesn't care about that.
No, he doesn't
stuff.
care.
He
He's
wants
trying
to
win games, man. He's got an ego and he's got a certain amount of diva in him, but ultimately he's trying to win games. And if he thinks playing with Lonzo Ball is the best way to win games, then he'd make it work with Lonzo Ball. But I think playing with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George is a little clearer path to victory than playing with Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
So you make it happen.
Yeah.
You make the deal if you're the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm not a Lonzo fan, but Lonzo still has a good future. He has game. There's a reason he was the second overall pick. It's not like LeVar Ball didn't snow the league into Lonzo Ball.
Right.
They didn't pull the wool over anyone's eyes. They watched Lonzo Ball. They know what kind of player he is. He's a good player who can't shoot very well, but he's a tremendously talented point guard and has a bright future. But
now, if LiAngelo gets drafted,
if Lily gets drafted,
then all of a sudden,
if Jello gets drafted, no way, because Jello sucks.
Unbelievable.
And the other one, oh man,
God,
it's we'll see. What else is going on, Drew? Oh, baseball news yesterday on the Major League front. The Nats, very under the radar, a couple days ago, made a trade for Herrera, the Royals closer.
Yep.
And it was very under the radar just because, if you're the closer for the Royals, who really knows about you right now because the Royals aren't very good. Mm-hmm. But Herrera's a very good pitcher, and he came in yesterday, made his debut with the Nats, threw a perfect eighth on 6 pitches. Now, granted, it's a small sample size, it's 1 inning, but it's a hell of a debut. And if the Nats have a reliable bullpen, if they can right the ship, they become a very scary team because that rotation is disgusting. Mm-hmm. So if they become a team with a dependable bullpen, look out for the Nats. Now, they got to hit too. Harper's had his struggles. Murph has really struggled since coming back, so they've still got to figure a few things out. I have faith in Davey Martinez. I like Davey Martinez a lot. I think he's a good manager. I think he was way overdue to finally get a shot at this. I think he'll figure it out. I think they'll turn it around, but it's suddenly become a really tough division. You didn't expect Atlanta to be ready this year, so now all of a sudden they've got a dogfight on their hands with the Braves.
And the Mets are hot on their heels.
Yeah, the Mets are
only
right
about
on
10.5
Only
back.
about 10.5 back. There's a lot of season left, though, Drew. Plenty of chance to get red hot. Behind whatever healthy arms you have left, and just.
Oh yeah! By the way, AJ Ramos now out for the year, torn labrum. That came out last night.
It's going great for the Mets.
Things are well.
Things are going really good with the Mets at Red City Field.
Oh man, what is baseball happiness? I don't know it.
Baseball happiness. Well, it's a fleeting thing, man. Take it from me as a lifelong Cubs fan. I've only tasted happiness once, and I probably won't ever taste it again. Let's be honest, but maybe
we'll see.
We're trying, and Joe we trust. I'm Joe Madden. Look at me.
Look at me.
Yeah, our boy Sticks was at the Cubs game yesterday. He got rained out on Monday night.
Got to see your boy.
So he came back on Tuesday for the makeup game in the afternoon against the Dodgers.
Chatwood.
He saw his boy Chatwood, who we both hate with just a burning passion. Chatwood, fun fact, has more walks this year than any Cubs pitcher had all of last year. At 62 now. And, he lost, and the Cubs lost. And he had to sit right behind Jay Hay, another Cub who he doesn't like. So it was a bad day for Sticks all around. But he's off to Vegas with his dad to get crazy drunk and probably pick up some hookers. So they're going to turn it around when they get out to Sin City. I don't know about the hookers or the drinking. I'm again, allegedly, okay?
Alleged.
I haven't heard anything from Styx. They haven't made any arrangements with any escorts or anything like that, as far as you know.
Over under on 10 teeth.
Oh, I don't want to get into that. That's
I don't know their style.
That's a little too deep. Oh, a question for Drew.
Have some FSU swag showing up like your dad does with Gators. Oh, trust me, it'll be there. We'll have it. I'll wear one tomorrow. Plan it.
Chatwood already had 45 pitches for his next start. Yeah, Chatwood is a walking machine, man. It is making me sick. And they're talking about going to a 6-man rotation when Darvish comes back because he's fragile and has a hard time getting out of the 4th inning. Chatwood has a hard time getting out of the 4th inning. It's going to wax the bullpen before too long. And Mike Montgomery's been good in his fill-in role as a starter. So I think they might go to a 6-man rotation for not too long, maybe about 6 weeks here in the middle of the season. Stretch it out during the hot summer months and try not to wear anybody down, and then pare it back down into the 5-man rotation for the stretch run. But hopefully they can keep the Brewers at bay there in the Central. That's suddenly very competitive. What up, Josh? I like Josh. Josh is good people, man. What else is going on, Drew? What did we get into? What did we talk about? Oh, they're out of. This is a big controversy. Now, I don't drink, so it doesn't affect me. Drew actually has some bartending experience, though. So you can understand this issue that we're facing right now at the World Cup, okay? We're in Russia, which already is a drinking-ass country to begin with. But apparently, it's not so much a beer issue as it is a CO2 issue, but they're running out of CO2. So suddenly they have no access to draft beer in Russia at the World Cup. Now, they have bottles and cans, but those are a short supply. They're running out quickly. Yeah. They're in danger of running out of beer at the World Cup. It is a crisis right now.
That is not good.
It's not good. Now, Drew, you've been around bar people. I have too. I worked in a bar for a long time.
Yep.
The thing about people that like to drink is when you no longer have drinks for them, they get very surly. Mm-hmm. They get very upset
Especially
very quickly.
If it's not what they want
It can go bad quick. Mm-hmm. And I fear that we may be headed towards a riotous situation at the World Cup in Russia if these rowdy-ass soccer fans can't get their booze. It's going to go bad.
The concessions will burn.
And it's going to go bad quick.
It's going to be bad. It's like the worst place to have that happen.
And here's the thing, too, man. You want to start rioting in Russia, man. Poots ain't going to have it.
No.
Poots is going to come in and shut it down real fast. You don't want that because he's not going to put you in a fun jail. No. He's going to put you in a bad jail, and you're never going to come out. So just remember that, hooligans. If you're at the World Cup in Russia, I know you're upset about the beer, but keep it down. Play it even. Get some vodka.
Sneak in some vodka.
Make it work.
Have some fun.
Okay? Get your buzz. Make it work. Suffer through the soccer game. Get yourself home. Come home in one piece. Don't get chopped up in Russia. A lot of loose allegations.
A lot of things going on right now. Poots is actually watching the show today, so
Poots is a big fan of After Drill. It's a little known fact. Also, Jeff, so far so good. We're in day 2 of Salmonella Watch with Jeff Prosser.
Still here.
So far, he's still here. Mm-hmm. He has not yet had a case of a spontaneous explosive diarrhea. So we feel like right now the Salmonella scare has gotten past Jeff. If he didn't catch it yesterday or early today, Jeff got a text message from his daughter that the Honey Smacks cereal has been recalled due to upwards of 100 cases of salmonella from some of the boxes of cereal. Now, Jeff goes through waves of certain cereals, and just several weeks ago, he was on a Smacks kick like you couldn't believe. He ate pounds and pounds and pounds of Smacks in a several-week period, and he is in full-on fear mode right now that he's contracted salmonella and he's just waiting for it to take hold.
He knows
so anytime like there's a fart working its way through, he thinks, oh God, this is it.
It's a salmonella.
This is salmonella. I'm going to die. Yep. So he's in a bad place right now. But so far, 2 days in, no salmonella. I feel like just far enough removed from when he was gorging on Smacks, I should say, that he doesn't have the salmonella and he's not going to die. I know for some of you that's disappointing, but for me, he's still my friend. He's still my friend. I know he has. We all have our faults, and Jeff isn't immune to them. We love Jeff, but hopefully he doesn't have salmonella. But I wouldn't mind him getting just a little case, a small case, a teeny, just a smidgenella. That just not really like the full on like, oh my goodness, like you're gonna just like poop right where you are. But I'd like it where it's just like where it's like the photo finish, like when you're running down the hall of the bathroom because you're like, man, I'm
quite,
not gonna make it.
Just didn't quite
but
make
you get
it.
there. That's what I'm hoping for
there.
Jeff, just so he learns his lesson.
Okay.
Just be careful with the cereal. Stick with the trusted brands. Don't go rogue. Don't go off-brand. We're off the rails at this point.
We've
can't
talked,
get any worse
big
than
cereal
this.
talks the last couple days.
A lot of salmonella, a lot of stuff. It's a big mess. It's how would salmonella be his cereal?
I really don't know.
I agree. GMO food is safe. I agree. But I'm not sure how salmonella gets in cereal. It's beyond me, but apparently several people have it. I don't know. I've been on a big kick with honeycombs right now, and things have been going great for me. So shout out to the honeycombs. Shout out to my intestinal tract. Both are doing great. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. sharp, for another award-winning edition of After Drill. Peace, Cougans.